Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for June 2025 for each life path number to see how these energies could present for you in the month that follows. This, of course, is a general reading. If you would like your own personal numerology forecast or reading, please book some time with me. My information's in the description box below, and I would love to work with you. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at June. The life path number 1, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 16-7 throughout June. And so this kind of brings in an opportunity for some kind of clarity, some kind of greater understanding or discovery about some kind of dynamic that has to do with you. So your sort of sense of self, your place in the world, your role within your connections, and relationships. So because you have the 16, you have the 1 and the 6. So the 1 is you. And so it brings in, again, that deeper sense of self, that deeper understanding of what it is that you want, what it is that you'll need to do in order to get to that place of what you want. But it also brings in sort of the needs of others and the needs of your loved ones. And so the way that this can sometimes show up is a push and pull between like work and home life balance and finding your happy medium in that space. So this could definitely be a month where you're being asked to go deeper and to have the deeper conversations with yourself and with others to figure out what's a healthy balance, like where is it that you don't feel like you're sacrificing one or the other? And that can be difficult to find sometimes. So this energy, especially of the 7, gives you the space and the time in order to do that, right? So a lot of times when we move through a 7 cycle, it's not a time for forcing, it's a time for allowing things to present and then sort of digging deeper into whatever that is and getting to the truth of that. So this month could bring up some points of contention that maybe you have with your family or your family has with you. And it doesn't just have to be family. It's more the people who are close to us, right? Where we feel that sense of safety and where we can be more vulnerable at times. And usually where we feel supported or where we show up in the greatest support for them. So there could be maybe some issues that come to into the spotlight with your family. Maybe they're frustrated with how much you're working and not available to them and that sort of thing. Or maybe there's something to do with finances in the home. And that's sort of driving the need to be working more hours or longer hours or whatever it might be. So there's some kind of dynamic here. And where it becomes sort of challenging is figuring out what that healthy balance is and finding that center point for you, like so that you're not sacrificing your sense of self or your place within that connection. So you could see a lot come up this month around that. You could also gain a greater understanding about those closer connections at this time, and also sort of maybe where it is that you lose yourself within those connections. In other words, where you're showing up, trying to control the situation or trying to assist in some way. And it could be seen as maybe overbearing or, again, just trying to take charge of the dynamic. So that will come to light if that's happening, and you can address it. The flip side of that is there may be some family members or some people who are close to you where you feel a little bit like they're a little overbearing and maybe trying to control the dynamic a little bit too much, and you may have to be more assertive and stand up for yourself and speak up for what it is that you need. So interesting dynamic here. There's definitely a lot coming in around like holistic health and making sure that you're coming back into that place of balance or greater balance. So you could see that push this month. And again, it's just asking for your attention so that you can, again, come back into balance and find a balance that works for you right now. And that might change. But June helps you to see what it is what actions you need to take at this time to create that greater harmony and balance and holistic health. That's the other piece here. This month, you could see things come up around your health or the health of family and loved ones that need your attention. And this would be the month to give it that attention, to make sure that you're listening to your body, you're listening to what it is that you need. So if you need more sleep, or you need to eat more healthy, or spend more time in nature, listen to what your body is asking for, and then find ways to give it what it needs. That's going to be really important for you this month. This is also an energy that can bring in abrupt, unforeseen events that are intended to sort of overthrow the existing conditions, especially in a material sense. So again, if there's like erroneous ideas or habits or, like behaviors, then you could see, again, that the spotlight be put on that this month, to be altered, to be managed in some way. Sometimes the 16-7 can bring in loss, or, some kind of setback might occur, especially in business or financial affairs. But it's drawing your attention to something that maybe you've been missing. So in other words, like, it's trying to show you where there needs to be a redirect or a change in direction that will help to bring in that greater balance that this 16-7 is trying to help you to achieve. Now, I pulled an animal wisdom message for you, and you got bee energy. And it's so interesting because immediately when I think of bees, I just think of them going from flower to flower, the little worker bees, right? They're doing their job so diligently, and they're so focused on their quote unquote purpose, and they're just busy little bees. And that's a beautiful thing, right? It's very much needed. And I think it brings into focus a couple of things. One, a reminder that your contribution is very much needed, that however it is that you're showing up in, again, contribution, career, your work or whatever it is, or volunteering or whatever it may be, however you expend your energy in a way that is contributing is very much needed. And there's value to that. And, you're just reminded to recognize that and to not minimize who you are, what you have to offer to accommodate others or make others comfortable. I think that's really important. But the flip side of this is also, knowing when to slow down, knowing when to rest, knowing when to take a beat so that your work doesn't become the be all end all of your existence, and finding that greater balance, that greater harmony in whatever ways you can do that. So beautiful energy this month for you all. I hope it's a great one. Take care, ones. Bye for now.